There are very few coins that carry the mystique, the aura, or the interest as the 1909 SVDB. But as much intrigue as there is with this particular coin, the controversy surrounding the VDB, the initials, significant in numismatic history. Now, there were a bunch of factors that involved several key figures, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Victor David Brenner, VDB, designed the Lincoln cent, and the design was highly anticipated. It was the first time the U.S. circulating coin had featured the portrait of an actual person. So it's an important distinction to be made because August 2nd, 1909, we were celebrating Lincoln's 100th birthday. And the prominent VDB, located at the bottom on the reverse of the coin between the wheat stalks, ignited a monster storm of criticism. Why? Well, there were a couple different reasons. Self-promotion. And this is one of those that I just don't understand. See, many people viewed the prominent placement as an act of vanity, but other artists had done that. James Longacre, Charles Barber, Morgan, they all had their initials on coins. So why this one? And it came down to aesthetic objections. It was just too prominent, too disruptive, and too big for the coin's overall aesthetic. That ultimately is why only 484,000 coins would be made before they removed the VDB from the reverse of the coin. Now, the decision was fast. And when I mean fast, we're talking about a couple of days. It points to a strong pressure from high-level officials. Now, who were these high-level officials? Well, the first one was the Secretary of their Treasury, and at the time it was Franklin McVeigh. Now, he was ultimately the person who's responsible for the mint and the coinage. That's not changed to this day. The historical accounts of McVeigh's discussions, despite having approved the design earlier, was that there was a strong exception to the VDB because the general public said, hey, this is a problem. He had to change his stand so quickly, so abruptly, to meet the requirements of the public outcry. See, in this particular place, he has a responsibility to make sure that the public's demands, needs, and desires are met. Because not only is he the Secretary of the Treasury, he's also a PR person. Charles Barber, we talk about him, he was the chief engraver at the time. And his role was really kind of the most intriguing, maybe even the most debated. Now, he was a chief engraver, started at 1879, and did that all the way up until 1917. And anybody who knows him knows that not only was he a prolific designer, he was a powerful figure inside the mint itself. And he looked at things with a very specific lens, and in many cases had rivalries with outside artists. And Barber was known to be one of these people who really didn't like the fact that metallists and designers and people that were not mint engravers had the opportunity to create designs on coins. A great example of this was Theodore Roosevelt, the president, bringing in a specifically acclaimed sculptor like Augustus St. Gaudens and Victor David Brenner to revitalize the American coinage. Why? Well, pride. See, it bypassed Barber. And because of that, there's strong speculation that Barber resented not only Gaudens, but Brenner as well for their choice. Now, he was chose for the Lincoln cent, and maybe he felt as though he was being undermined. So one thing that really stood out was the strategic placement of the initials. Now, here's something that a lot of people aren't aware of. Do you know who suggested to Brenner that they put him there? Yeah, Charles Barber. He was the one who actually did this and then utilized the backlash to push for its removal, saying that Yeah, you can remove it, but it would be technically difficult to move the initials to a less conspicuous spot. Well, it actually did end up happening after his death in 1918, where they put them on the bottom of the bust, and you'll see very, very light VDB reflected in the bottom of Lincoln's jacket. The influence by McVeigh as the Mint's director and chief engraver had a direct influence. The Secretary of the Treasury, the technical advice, it really could have swayed the decision either way. But Barber had a plan, and Barber wanted the guys at the Mint to get those jobs. Another person that would have been involved in this is Frank Leach. Now, Frank Leach was the director of the U.S. Mint, and he was involved around the time of the initial discussion. We're talking about Brenner's approval. And he communicated with Brenner and conveyed not only the approval, but the decision to remove the initials, the request of the Treasurer's Secretary. Now, it was possible that Leach himself had reservations or was simply acting under the direct orders of McVeigh. But again, he was another person engaged in this. But who were the ultimate people who doomed the VDB on the 1909S? The American public and the press. See, the response was so widespread and the public outcry was amplified by newspaper sensationalization. VDB sent doomed. It was a narrative that was created to put pressure on the Treasury. And again, at whose conveyance? A lot of people think that Charles Barber was the one who provided the information to the press. Maybe, maybe not. That has never been proved. But public opinion certainly fueled the swift action to remove the VDB from the reverse of the coin. So between 1909 and 1918, there were no initials for Victor David Brenner. Now, as long as Charles Barber was the chief engraver, he resisted the attempt to restore VDB's initials on the coin. Now, he died in 1917, and once he passed, changing sentiments over time definitely played a role. Barber was gone. There was nobody speaking negatively against this. You didn't have people bashing people like St. Gaudens and Brenner. Potentially new Treasury Secretary, potentially the new Mint Director, who really understood and recognized the artist's contribution, was a path to returning that in 1918. We don't know. All we know is this sentiment changed. 1909 SVDB is a controversy in a power struggle, a clash between the recognition of artist work against public perception. It's with Secretary McVeigh and Chief Engraver Charles Barber playing decisive roles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte Coins. Thank you so much for attending today. If you want to know more about the 1909 SVDB, or maybe you want to learn about other rarities, varieties, errors, or conditional rarities, subscribe to the channel. Watch one of these two videos that's up here, and go check out some of the playlists. If you're interested in the commemorative coins, there's a great set of videos regarding the various commemoratives, starting from the first, and we're working through all the way to the last. There's about 20 more videos that have to be created in that set, and I'll be releasing one of those, the Arkansas, sometime later this week. All right, folks, be well, be blessed. I will see you in the streams. Take care.